Alright, voice to the name, right? I'm Mr. Heavy Gunner 04, and this is my first voiceover. And in this brief, about 15 minutes of time, I'm gonna talk to you about some thoughts that are on my mind. Because if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be me about it. But I'm gonna talk about the gaming community and how it's a reflection of humanity and how the world is a beautiful place. Um, because in this world, there's a lot of depressing things, and I think people need some light in there. And gaming for me is like a little piece of home. Wherever I've gone or whatever I've done, it's been my place to go and unwind. And in real world scenarios, I am probably the one of the most socially awkward person until you like get through that little barrier. So this is me reaching out of that barrier. And I'm going to start by saying that the gaming community has been a beautiful thing. Um, Sometimes you got those trash talkers or those people who want to act like children, but in a good sense, there's a lot of people I've enjoyed a lot of good games with, um, where you are competing for that win, but nobody's like downing you. They're not critiquing you. They're more enjoying the back and forth, just as you are. And I want to say how in Call of Duty 4 and on, or even in other games, but for me it was Call of Duty 4. That's where I started. I'm gonna keep going back there because that's like my home. Um, but the gaming community has, like, when you get your 5 friends on and you get into those lobbies and you get other people and you just go back and like you wreck them. It's fun and it feels good, but when you're sitting there and you're talking, you got good teamwork and you're literally enjoying a good time with those others. And then there's times you're playing by yourself and you're that one person that runs into those 6 people. And I want to talk about how that's been some of the better times for me, because instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna lose, well, I try to give them a run for their money. I try to play, because usually when that happens, I run into them on objective game modes like domination and headquarters, like back in the day, or in this case, hardpoint or defender. But when you're that one guy against 6, what can you truly do? And with Call of Duty being about the Call of Duty, think about it in the sense of you're being called to do something that you wouldn't necessarily want to do, but you have to do. And obviously you have the choice to back out, but instead of being a coward, you have the choice to fight against something that'll probably beat you into submission. And instead of backing out and being like, oh man, they're just a bunch of sweaty tryhards and they're all in a group and how am I supposed to beat them or whatever. Instead, why not give it your all and try to play around with them? Obviously, you're not gonna, even if you do pull off the win, maybe you're like that crazy, like you're like Scump or whatever the fuck out of all the professional gamers. But maybe you do beat them. But let's say you can't. Like, each and every single one of them have better skill levels than you. Try to sit in those shoes. Can you enjoy the game even when you're losing? Are you one of those people that can answer the call when nobody else can? Are you willing to fight for the little guy? And that has been some of the best moments ever, is going against, and that's probably how I ran across a lot of my friends, really. Finishing the game and maybe I pulled a positive KD and I had a shitload of caps and defense, and I gave them a run for their money. I didn't let them drop their nukes or something like that. Because obviously that's what they're going for. Like, they got all them people, they feel like they're invincible. So when you can poke that bear and walk away, that's a good feeling. You feel accomplished at the end of the day, or at the end of the game per se, because if you go into it like, hey man, good game, and you tell those 6 people that you enjoyed that game, and let's say like you stay and you do 2 or 3 more games, yeah, your KD is not going to look beautiful, but you gave it your all, and you go back after all that, and let's say one of their players leave. You know what the likelihood of them asking for you to play with them? So now you got that group of 5 people with you, and now instead of feeling like crap, you're talking and having fun with 5 other people across the world. And that's what I mean. Like, all flags across the world are put down when you pick up a controller. It's not America versus China or whatever, or America versus North Korea or Russia and the whole world at war. It's humanity coming as a whole, and you're putting down all political values, and you're picking up the piece of humanity that drives us all. It's being unified. And I know the U.S. is like represented as a warmongering, corrupted state of evil for some, but to me it's united. It represents humanity as the greatest it can be for right now, and it's unified. We are together. Because together we will stand, and divided we will fall. Because that's who we are. Because humanity is better when we're all together. One human pretty much sucks at everything. But you get 10,000 people or even 10 people, and you will see amazing things happen. I've seen this in video gaming. I've seen this in restaurant work. I've seen this in the army. You put more people at a task, and that task will get done. And I think if everybody together went for peace and for prosperity, we would excel at it if everybody went for it. And I think that's part of the problem, is not everybody wants to. And yes, there's good and bad people in the world, but you can start with just yourself and do it, because that's all you can work on. You can't force anybody else to do anything they don't want to, but you can help yourself help humanity. Because if you better yourself and everybody betters himself, together we will be better. And I think that's where gaming hits me, is the better I got at gaming, the better people I found, and together that team was better. So why not take a little piece of gaming with you when you turn off your console, or turn off this whatever device you're listening to me on, and take that little piece of happy, or that little piece of home that you might feel, and bring it with you to work, bring it to you at school, bring it to you on the bus or the car or wherever you might go after this, and make a little bit of peace, make some happy for the rest of the world, because one smiling face is contagious, and it'll make everybody else smile. And I'm not saying have a false smile, but I'm saying find something to be happy about. Instead of just faking it to make it, find your piece of happy and share it with the world. And instead of spreading misery or hate or anger or sadness, spread happiness. Because that's where peace is going to start. Because the second everybody else is happy, and the second you're happy, you're going to find your peace. And for me, gaming's been that peace. And I'm not going to keep ranting about this whole peace shit, because I don't want to sound like some crazy hippie. Because obviously, I'm prior military. And that's kind of why a soldier would want to fight, is so nobody else would have to. That's the point of a volunteer service. And that's why we do it. We're not crazy people that want to go kill. The true soldiers will want to fight, only so other people don't. So they're not forced to. So you're not stuck in your getting shot at. And why not have the people that are willing to fight for others, so not everybody has to fight? Because if you want to fight, you're going to be a damn good fighter. But if you don't, you're going to suck at it. And that's why we excel at it. Yeah, so yeah, some people fall in love with it or go crazy with it. Well, just like all things that anybody would want to do, you want to be the best at. And it's kind of what the Army breeds into you, is wanting the whole, like, go to a foreign nation and go kill people. But I've never wanted to just kill. I wanted to save. And if I had to pull a trigger to save my family or save another's, I would. I would still do that today. But I honestly think that the world would be a better place if we cared more about each other and less about ourselves. I know that sounds weird saying don't care. I'm not saying don't care about yourself. I'm saying be happy with your life and spread it to everybody else, because end all, it's about making humanity better. I'm not saying any country is better than another. I'm saying Earth should be the home to humanity, and it should be a place we all want to be. Because have you ever felt like a prisoner in your own home? I know this is random, but have you ever just woke up one day and you're like, I don't even want to be home today. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to be anywhere. I'm just tired. I'm sick and tired. Have you ever felt what it was like to be like that? And imagine that is an entire planet of people who are just, there's nowhere to go. You can't go out to space unless you have a shitload of money. So why not make home for everybody here? I don't know if it's true, but I saw some stuff on the internet about how we could house everybody in Alaska, and how homelessness could be fixed. And everybody's got all these answers, but the problem still exists. So take some time and be an answer to the problem instead of adding to it. And then maybe you're not going to solve world hunger, but you are going to solve your hunger for happiness, per se. Because if you've made it this far, you obviously agree with me in some way. If not, maybe you're just waiting to lay hate into me in the comments for whatever reason. Personally, I give a fuck. I'm going to go to sleep after this. But find some peace. Find some peace in the world and love it. Because if not, you're going to hate the rest of your miserable existence. It's kind of for everybody and myself. This dude's fucking crazy. He's not even like touching the ground. I swear to God, he's like floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee. Sneaking in that last one. But find some peace, man. Gunner out.